It is clearly now the will of the Parliamentary Conservative Party that there should be a new leader.
Was that a dangerous situation? Was it likely to lead to a widespread flare-up in the Middle East? In the judgment of the government.
From ill-fated policies to controversial decisions, we'll uncover the moments that shook the nation and shaped its political landscape. Stay tuned to discover the stories behind these failures and gain valuable insights into the lessons learned from each misstep. Number 10. In a dramatic turn of events, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, has resigned. The Parliamentary Conservative Party has expressed a clear desire for new leadership, signalling the need for a new Prime Minister. The loss of control over Tory MPs was striking, with almost 60 of them resigning within a span of 2 days. This left Johnson unable to maintain authority in the House of Commons. Number 9. During Anthony Eden's political career, one significant failure that defined his legacy was the Suez Crisis. The crisis unfolded when Britain and France covertly supported an Israeli invasion of Egypt in an attempt to gain control of the strategically important Suez Canal, a crucial trade route linking the Mediterranean and the Red Seas. However, their actions faced stern condemnation from the United States, the Soviet Union, and the United Nations. In the end, Egypt successfully retained control of the Suez Canal, while Britain and France were left embarrassed and internationally ridiculed for disregarding repeated warnings against invading Egypt. Anthony Eden, bearing the weight of this disgrace, ultimately resigned from his position. Number 8. Back in the day, the Anti-Social Behaviour Order, ASBO, was hailed as a solution to address minor crimes committed in neighbourhoods like this one. As Prime Minister, Tony Blair promised to be tough on crime, and the ASBO became a significant feature of Britain's justice system. However, did ASBOs prove effective? Most analysis suggested otherwise. Issues like vandalism, drug use, late-night disturbances and fights persisted despite ASBOs. When the coalition government took over, they made the decision to abandon ASBOs entirely. Enforcement of these orders was a nightmare, as the conditions frequently violated. Critics involved in combating antisocial behaviour had reservations about the new government's reforms, finding them expensive, time-consuming and ultimately ineffective. Number 7. In Sunderland, after midnight, the uprising against the UK's EU membership became evident. David Cameron, aiming for a Conservative majority in 2015, made a fateful promise to hold a referendum on Britain's EU membership. The British people voted to leave, and Cameron, a Remainer, expected a different outcome. However, he respected the people's will and chose not to lead the country towards its next destination. He resigned, passing the responsibility to his successor, Theresa May, also a Remainer, who faced a challenging task of negotiating a Brexit deal, which proved to be a formal undertaking. Number 6. In 2009, a scandal emerged revealing that MPs from both political parties had been making inappropriate expense claims. The Freedom of Information Act, introduced by Tony Blair, provided an opportunity to expose the true nature of how MPs were being compensated. Private addresses, bank details and personal lives were laid bare. MPs who owned multiple homes would manipulate their second home designations to continue claiming expenses for mortgages and repairs. The scandal began with the cabinet, with Prime Minister Gordon Brown making headlines. The revelations extended beyond the front page, implicating other MPs. Number 5. The Liberal Democrats experienced a significant surge in popularity during the 2010 elections, with one of their key campaign pledges being the abolition of tuition fees. Unfortunately, once in power as Deputy PM under David Cameron, Nick Clegg not only failed to abolish tuition fees but also allowed the Tories to increase them to £9,000. A recent report from the London School of Economics highlights that Britain's poorest families have borne the brunt of the coalition's policies. Number 4. The Rwanda Program, a controversial initiative introduced by Boris Johnson and Priti Patel, the then Home Secretary. The plan aimed to relocate asylum seekers who arrived in the UK through illegal and perilous routes, such as small boats crossing the English Channel, to Rwanda. Instead of allowing them to apply for asylum in the UK, the government sought to deport them to Rwanda as part of their strategy to deter illegal entry into the country. The policy is widely considered inhumane by the British public and is also financially burdensome. Not only did the UK pledge £120 million to Rwanda upfront, but they also committed to paying up to £30,000 for each person sent there. Number 3. The Prevent Strategy, established in 2003, has been hailed as a vital tool in combating terrorism in the UK. First-hand experiences and a plethora of inquiries and reports suggest a different story. The Prevent program faced serious criticism for potentially exacerbating radicalisation instead of preventing it. Number 2. The country faced further turmoil as Liz Truss assumed office from Boris Johnson, promptly followed by the mini-budget announcement. The budget proposed substantial tax cuts funded by extensive government borrowing, which rattled the markets and triggered economic challenges. The pound plummeted to a record low, mortgage rates surged, pensions were endangered, and even bankers expressed opposition. Within a brief 50-day tenure, Liz Truss resigned as Conservative Party leader after revelations of physical threats made by her frontbenchers to secure pro-fracking votes. Number 1. The poll tax proved to be the downfall of Thatcher's administration. This non-means tested tax, despised by the public, imposed a flat rate on people of all income brackets to fund local authorities. The opposition grew so strong that protests escalated into riots, leading to Thatcher's resignation in 1990. John Major took over, tasked with undoing the damage and guiding the nation as the new Prime Minister. That was all for today. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.